Just catch it real quick.
But I did say Boston.
I had one person one day, and then one holds on it. The guy says, "You got a New Zealand accent."
You should have said, "Yeah, I did."
I said, "What?"
I would have played with
And so everybody else knew where I was from, right? And so he goes, "No," he goes, "Oh, that's New Jersey." I says, "No, it's Rhode Island. It's a Boston accent." I said, "No, it's not. It's not a Boston accent, right?" And I'm like, "Really?" I said, "Do you know anybody from Boston, Mass?"
Good evening. My name is Mohammed Yassin, and we are looking at the agenda. As we look at the agenda, we want to be able to call to order the meeting. And our good pastor there he's a Green Bay Packer, so don't mess with him. He will be giving us, offering a prayer for the start of the meeting. So if everybody rise, right after that, we'll do the pledge.
God, we thank you tonight for this meeting. God, we pray for all that's going on and that you are in the center of it and that you would help us to stay focused on the most important thing, which is you. And God, we ask you to bless it in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
And I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
She took it up.
I just wanted to know if everybody had a look at the agenda?
Yes.
Great. So we'll move forward. I know that we're supposed to ask for a quorum and all of that, but we have sufficient people right now, and we have our speaker. He's living all the way in Summerlin by far than FSW area in the rich spot. So, so I'd like to introduce Mr. Talmadge, John Talmadge, and he said that he will be able to give us a brief script of himself, and he will continue to talk. You will ask questions, and we will ask questions.
Okay.
So we'll let you go because you have a far way to travel back.
Thank you so much. I'm John Talmadge. I'm the Director of Economic Development for Lehigh County, and I've held that position for about 5 years now. It's been a pleasure working in the county. It's been more of a pleasure getting to know Lehigh than almost the other parts of the county where I work. Prior to becoming the director, I was the chief of staff for the city of Fort Myers. And so I had a great opportunity to learn more about utilities and policing and the fire department and all the different departments that reported up to me. So that was a great experience. I gave up retirement to do that. I owned restaurants in Sanibel, or I did. One's gone. And then I've spent most of my career working in community and economic development in New York City during the Giuliani administration, in New Orleans during Katrina, and for the city of Miami, the city of Cincinnati. I ran a think tank for the federal regulatory community for 5 years in Washington, working closely with the Federal Reserve System, and came down here with the expectation that I was going to help my former wife run our restaurants, and but got caught up coming to downtown and meeting the mayor, and he asked me back out of retirement to work. So I'm enjoying it, and so now I'm not going to retirement.
They're not going to let you retire, are they?
I'll work till they kick me out. But it's as you know, everywhere you look right now, there's growth. Lehigh County has a population of 820,000 people today. 99 people a day are moving to the county full time. We're hit about 1 million people in 6 to 8 years. The region's going to hit 2 million people in approximately 10, 15 years. So it's everywhere you're going to look at, you see growth in Charlotte County and Collier County, but especially here. I mean, we're over half the population, more than twice the population of the entire region, including Hendry and Glades as well. So, how do you manage that growth is a real undertaking. And so, the number of roads we have to maintain, the state maintains the infrastructure, the utilities. It's just costly and very expensive and complicated. And in economic development, we manage the growth of the community, of the county, the economic growth. So the businesses that are here, the expansion of businesses are coming here, and then workforce development has become a real priority for me. The workforce housing, workforce health, workforce training. So we put a lot of efforts into those three areas, and we'll have some answers to some of those over the course of this evening. But I'll go big picture, then I'll narrow down and come back to Lehigh. We have 33,000 businesses in the county. We have 400,000 workers in the county. 30% of Collier County's workers live here. About 25% of Charlotte County's workers live here. So we're not only the business hub of the region, we're also the workforce bedroom of the region. And thank God for Lehigh, because this is really the hub of where our workforce lives. It's where our youngest workforce resides. It has the most families. 70% of all Lehigh has households with kids in the public school system. And so it's, the average age is 35. And it's exciting to watch this growth. But it's, we up until in the last couple of years, we just let it grow. We didn't do a lot of planning for it. And now the commissioners are understanding that they need to get ahead of some of these problems before it becomes a crisis. Traffic being paramount. So, the sectors, the beaches are torn up right now. Sanibel's torn up right now. It's probably 3 to 5 years before you're going to start seeing any real turnaround there. And so, it's painful. And we've had 50,000 homes damaged in Ian. So that's just been a tremendous effort for people to carry that load and the suffering, especially anything was considered affordable, such as the mobile home parks on Iona and down Summerlin. They're gone. They're completely gone. And what we replaced them with to be determined. We received $1.1 billion from HUD, Federal Agent Housing Agency, and so as of January, we're prepared to spend $660 million on affordable housing. So whether it's individual homes, multifamily homes, rehab, replacement housing for some people who lost their homes in the impacted areas, but it's going to be affordable because we are considered the most overvalued market in the United States right now. The rent appreciation has gone 33% in 2 years. But wages have gone up 23% in the last 2 years. So there's some combination of success, but the strain on people's housing is getting worse and worse. The first $1 million home is now sold in Lehigh. There's many homes that are on the market for $500,000. So it's every part of the county is going to start seeing this insane appreciation. And at some point it'll come down. We hope it doesn't crash. Right now we don't see any evidence of any inflationary pressures. I'm an economist, and that's what I do. I also teach real estate development at USF, and I'm a research fellow at FIU and over at Miami. And so it's something I think a lot about, and we do a lot of research in this area. But that said, we continue to attract more jobs. We have workforce to fill it. So today, as of this morning, we had 24,000 job openings and only 9,000 people looking for a job. And part of that is we have lost our workforce participation rate for prime workforce, which is between the age of 25 and 55, is 82%. And that's a good number. That's higher than the national average and higher than the state average. But where our overall workforce rate suffers so much is we have severe unemployment amongst people between the ages of 18 and 24 and 55 and older. And that's really where we had a large meeting today with Lee Health and Arthrax and Gulf Coast and about FGCU. About is it possible you take people who've recently retired or can't be a welder today because of how much how hard that work is, and have them become teachers at the technical colleges that teach welding, and but reemploy them part time. Lee Health's looking for former nurses to come back part time. Same with doctors and whatnot. Lee Health has 1,200 job openings right now. That's down from 2,400 a year ago. So it's progress, but the number of people retiring from the different job categories is over 52,000 people over the next 2 years. So we're going to have a lot of exits, and we're going to have to do a lot of training, but we've got a lot of ground to make up. And we are blessed by having a terrific sheriff's department. Our fire districts are strong. I think our public safety piece is first class and as good as it can become. But we need to do better in things like parks and especially roadways. We're behind in school construction. We need one new elementary school a year in the county, and one new high school every 2 years.
Wow.
So, go figure.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. But we're also we're now the home of companies you probably never heard of, but they're moving their headquarters here. So, Convergent, it's a Fortune 1000 company that makes complex security systems. Kingsland Software took one of the Gartner buildings. They make the software system that allows the New York Stock Exchange to talk to the SEC. Axios, which is another security company. AdMan, which is going to become the largest 3D printing company in the country. They went from one employee, and when the year of COVID began, they now have 7,600 employees, and they have their R&D and their headquarters are here out by the airport. But they 3D print everything from a human ear for a baby born without ears to the wingspan of fighter jets. So it's a very robust, diverse company. But they're started here. And other companies like that. We now have a growing apparel sector. So we always knew about Chico's, but we now have 18 apparel manufacturers that moved their headquarters here. Donna Joe Brands, Matilda Jane, Splash, Tuna Skin, Survival Armor. So so we now have a place when Chico's contracts, there's other places that people could have soft landings. They don't have to go back to Atlanta or go somewhere else. They can work here and stay in the local economy. So those are where the opportunities are. But our tourism taking a hit. The airport is recovering. It's almost back to last year's numbers. Last year we had 10 million passengers come through RSW. So we are today the 32nd busiest airport in the country. And when we finish all the renovations and expansions, we expect to move to the 20s. They're about to finish the terminal renovation, which is a $400 million job that's going to consolidate all the TSA gates into one. So you can go from concourse to concourse, add another 50,000 square feet of retail. So you're going to have a Fort Myers Brewing restaurant, you're going to have a Ford's Garage restaurant, you're going to have all those things in the airport itself. And then once that's finished, they're going to build a new concourse that's going to have capacity to carry anywhere between 26 and 48 gates. So that's when we expect to expand our international flights to England. We've announced a new direct flight to Puerto Rico. We'd like to expand that also to the Dominican Republic and to Central America. And we also now have direct flights to California, Seattle, Kansas, Boulder, or Denver. And so, Austin's the newest Texas flight that's been added. And so, that's a game changer for us. And the reason that we added the flight to Seattle is Arthrex flies so much to China. So, they put their cargo on the plane and ship it. So they're doing 20,000 deliveries a day off of Plantation, which for every sports figure in the world you can imagine. So the growth is exciting. We attract a company a month from Collier because they can't find reasonable land prices there. and their workforce lives here anyway. So there is talk, I can't tell you who it is, about a potential 1 million square foot facility on 82 at Alabama. That will be a large distribution center and call center and back office. There's about 800 jobs in it. And our challenge is how do we match those jobs with Lehigh's, emerging population so that they have the jobs and they're only driving 5 minutes to work. Because of our land use history, one of the downsides is, or there's many downsides to what we've done in the past, but one of the current ones is we have the longest distance commute of any county in the state of Florida. If you're a Lehigh resident, or you're a Cape Coral resident, or a North Fort Myers resident, and those are the areas where most of our workforce lives, you're driving 45 miles each way to go to work. And whereas the average American family spends 12% of their income on car costs, Lee County families spend 25 to 30% of their household income on car costs. Because our automobile insurance is so expensive, the most expensive in the country, because almost over 20% of Floridian drivers drive uninsured.
That's right.
And it's a problem.
My rates just went up.
Yep, everyone's going to. And so by the time you pair your car costs and your housing costs, you may be at 60, 65% of your household income before you buy a single grocery or anything else. So, we're beginning to address, we're beginning to address that by some of our roadway expansion. We've moved so many businesses and recruited so many businesses to the Alico Road corridor. And if you drive down Alico Road from Tree Line to 41, you see a new warehouse or a new building every day. So I expect in that Alico corridor and then the Daniels corridor, the Skyplex, that we will have 150,000 new jobs over the next 5 to 8 years. Or one out of every 3 jobs in Southwest Florida. One out of 4 jobs in Southwest Florida. One out of every 3 jobs in Lee County.
I think those were the Amazon warehouses, right?
Yes. And there's a third one coming.
Wow.
And what we really hope we're waiting for is to commit to a fulfillment center here. Because once you get a fulfillment center, it's a 2.5 million square foot building that with about 2,500 workers. Every one of those workers is eligible for a full 4-year scholarship at FSW or FGCU. And that'd be a wonderful thing. They'll build the classes on site. So you can take classes at Amazon in one of your school there. And that's a new trend that we're pushing. We also start adding classrooms to their hospitals and other educational facilities. The YMCA is providing programming for the PG&T, the window manufacturer. We're talking to Neogenomics about a Boys and Girls Club operating there for kids and employees' kids. So there's an effort to try to bring activities to the workplace, especially Spanish. B&I contractors has 800 employees. 400 of them don't speak English. So do you teach the 400 to speak English, or do you teach the supervisors to speak Spanish? And because they're tremendous workers. So, but if we can find a program where we can teach in the workplace, no one wants to go spend 6 hours or 7 hours or 8 hours at work, and then go to FSW for 2 hours to take classes. But if you take it out, during your lunch period, at work, you don't have to go anywhere, then that's probably a more efficient way to get more people to participate. So, that's a strategy that we're working on, and workforces, right now is everything. We dissuaded a company from coming here that needed a tremendous number of jobs because the job titles they wanted, we just didn't have enough of those. And so, and right now we can't depend on recruiting workers from out of the area to move here because they can't find anywhere to live because of the cost. So, it's a balancing act for us. Then as you come, to finish off at the airport, a company's going to build a 250,000 square foot cold storage facility there. We're going to become a major processor of Norwegian fish. It'll be processed at the airport and then flown back out. We're going to recruit a maintenance, repair, overhaul facility there, which will have a need for 500 airplane mechanics. So that will be right there across from Gateway by the Publix on Daniels. So it really will be a convenient place for workers coming from Lehigh to get to. And what I'm most excited about, we're building a Lehigh Technical College.
Wow.
And it's going to be bigger than the Cape Coral and the Fort Myers one. It will have degrees or programs for aviation, well, all the school of trades, and probably host about 1,000 students at a time equipped. So
What's the estimated completion date of that, sir?
they found a site. This superintendent told me today they funded the design, so it won't be done till 2027.
And where's the site?
On 82 and
Alabama?
Sunshine.
Oh, okay.
There's plans to build new elementary school, middle school, high school, and technical college there. They purchased all the property.
Okay.
So that part's really exciting because we can again it's been an impediment for Lehigh and for Cape Coral to have to cross the river or come downtown or to someone at FSW or Hodges and fight the traffic both ways or FGCU. But and so this way at least we'll have a good college offering or technical college offering here. And then in terms of growth, right now, not including infill single-family homes, there are 5,000 homes being built and planned for Lehigh Acres, or the greater Lehigh Acres, and that includes State Road 82, the Lennar community is good for the golf course, off of Homestead in Milwaukee. So that's an amazing number. There are also 2 million square feet of commercial space being planned. There's a power center, which is like Gulf Coast Town Center, being planned for. There's going to be a new spine road that's going to connect 82 to Corksbrook Road, and so go through what's called the Kingston property. And so the Kingston's going to be it's a Joe Camazero development. It's 10,000 homes with equestrian facilities, gun ranges, skeet shooting, a PGA golf course, Spine Road. Lehigh Fire District will have a house there. Same, and so will Estero's Fire District because it's that big. So that's as that goes in, there's going to be a new road coming up that will come out almost where Homestead is, or at Homestead, and they're already planning for a large retail center there. So that, and at the same time, they're trying to see how we fund widening Homestead all the way down to 82. So that's an exciting prospect. And then there's tons of mom and pops. We are getting ready to go through a zoning review to see where else on Lee Boulevard and Sunshine and Homestead we can rezone to encourage more local retail development. We're looking for opportunities to combine plats or change the platting. Regulation, the state was given the authority that if you can get a referendum, then you could change the platting system. So all these some people have just abandoned lots that someone bought in 1950 and no one knows who has title to them today. And so,
are you talking about residential areas?
Yeah. So there's still 80,000 vacant. For as big as Lehigh population is, it's 135,000 people today. There's still 80,000 vacant lots in Lehigh, but you can't. Most of them have to be combined into single lots. So call it 40,000 buildable lots, and so that's another 100,000 people because your household size is 2.2 here. So that's a lot of potential growth, and you see Lehigh and LaBelle going towards each other. The LaBelle water system has just run water all the way to the Lee County line down in Haiti, and so they've got 15 planned communities in West Hendry County around the new reservoir that's being built to hold the water from the overflow from Lake Okeechobee. And so that's a significant amount of housing. And what I predict will happen is that Lehigh to Immokalee to LaBelle, back to Lehigh, that triangle will really be the heart of our new growth center for Southwest Florida. And Lehigh will be in the middle of the county, not on the side, not on the eastern side of the county. So it'll be in the middle of the area, not what I meant. So, and then I think we're extending Alico Road up to Sunshine, around the Sunshine, and that work's starting now. We purchased all the land, we've done the right-of-way work. We're finishing the design, so we'll start at 82. We'll start where it bends around the corkscrew, and then turn left and come out at Sunshine, and then we're going to we're set on extending it all the way through to State Road 80. So Lehigh has another outlet to get to State Road 80, because right now it's just Joel and Buckingham. So if we had that outlet, then State Road 80 can support retail nodes at Joel, Buckingham, and Sunshine, and that would also give you more other alternative shopping destinations. So it's really going to be 82 and 80 that will host the kind of growth, the commercial growth that that you deserve, and because there's just not enough property that's large enough inside Lehigh proper, except for the east side of Homestead, and you'll probably see some rezonings there as well. So I think those are all, and what we'll start spending the next couple of years doing is surveying you, working through groups like this to make sure we're not just getting Dollar General stores and
Waffle houses.
And Waffle Houses and 7-Elevens, right? We need more sit-down restaurants, shopping, apparel shopping, hardware stores. We can use the Lowe's in addition to the Home Depot we have. Target's looking for a site in the greater area. So there's a lot of things that we could help attract, but we don't want to get ahead of the community and do something that's not going to be supported.
Costco would be nice.
Yeah, I know. Cape Coral's finally getting a Costco.
Wow.
Del Prado. And then they're looking to move the Costco from 41, because that parking lot is so miserable, to further south. And then you can see a Costco coming to this side. And just like there's so much growth here, there's just as much growth on 80 and River Road and Bayshore. And so it's there's 86,000 homes in the development pipeline right now.
So sir, the triangle, we're talking like what, 15, 20 years from now?
Yeah, so it's going to go a long time. But,
yeah,
but but all the lanes have been 4 lanes. They're widening, they're getting ready to start widening 29. 82 and 80 are all 4 lane. So it comes together, but they need you need better connectivity between 82 and 80 through Lehigh. That's Sunshine. So Joel's too far down.
Yeah, well, obviously they have to have the infrastructure there.
Yep. And I think that's going to force us to lay sewer faster on the eastern side of the county, than we were ever planning to. And you'll probably see, some sort of announcement in the very future about either a strategic partnership with FCUA or merging with FCUA, but something where they use our water or we supply their water. Right now, the aquifer is the sandstone aquifer is so shallow, the eastern portion of Lehigh, that you have to go down now an extra, 20 feet for your wells, and that's adding another $10,000 to the cost of installing a well. And we're building an interconnect between the gateway system and our system on Daniels. So we're going to start giving water to Lehigh, or to FCUAs, so it's not such a drain on the system here. So because this growth has to, in the city of Fort Myers, they're not allowed to issue wet permits. They don't wet line permits. They can only issue dry line permits because they're so severely underserved by water. So it's not just water quality we're fighting for anymore, it's water access too. So it's a serious problem countywide, is particularly bad here, Fort Myers, and in parts of North Fort Myers. North Fort Myers. So infrastructure, you're going to see us spend close to $2 billion over the next 5 years on roadway expansion and sewer and water. Out of the CDBG allocation, we're putting $330 million alone into sewer. So we're going to do it, and one of the things we're trying to do, we don't make the same mistake as Cape Coral did, is to do it without assessments on the homeowners. So I mean, right now, when I was a staffer, when they moved to Cape Coral, the assessment was about $5,000, but now it's $40,000. And so, what we finally found in the math was it cost if you have the advanced septic system, now costs almost $40,000. And so to connect, in most places, once we have the main lines in, most places only costs $47,000 to connect to sewer. So there's really only a delta of $7,000, maybe it's $10,000 that has to be covered. But we're going to see if we can find federal grants to pay for that for the homeowner, and so you don't have to pay anything for the conversion because you'll be paying a different water and sewer service. So I think we're trying to do the right thing. It's costly, but we'll need lots of prayers for everyone. But I think we'll get there. And I think Lehigh's efforts to organize, or from my point, are applauded. I'm not sure everyone in the county feels that way, but I think it's the largest unincorporated area in the southeast United States, and so I think it deserves self-government. And we'll see. I'll leave it at that. But and so I mean, you'll see us build new parks here. That's the other thing that we're going to try to step up, and do recreational facilities. So I know Veterans is overused. We're putting in football fields off of Lee. We're putting in soccer fields as well. So we're thinking about trying to buy a piece at Milwaukee and Homestead for a Best Pocket Park on that far corner near where Bernard's building. So we're trying to work with developers where they're building larger communities to put aside land for public use, whether for some sort of pickleball or passive, but active recreation, not passive. We have plenty of passive recreation throughout the county. We have 30,000 acres of conserved land that 2020 has paid for. So we need to find a way to connect those parcels together. So it's like a confederated system of trails that you can bike from one to the other or walk. But that's a different question. So there's so much going on, and it's what I always like being here. And speaking of Lehigh, and I used to spend a lot of time at Majestic back in the day, and that was always a good time with Jerry and Michael Sword. So miss those guys. But anyway, if you have any questions or suggestions or comments, I'm certainly happy to answer anything that I can. And if not, I will take it and get back to you tomorrow.
How high do you see the land prices going up?
Well, they're being tempered right now because of the advanced septic systems, but they will go up. But they're not going to go up. Vacant land anywhere in the county is going up, unimproved land, and so that's why we're looking at density equations and other things like that to mitigate some of that cost. Right now, if you saw another a parcel, a buildable parcel. I mean, that's you can't take it. You're not going to pay for two parcels. You got to merge together. But I can see a buildable parcel going up another $10,000. Right now, you can still pick them up for $20,000-$25,000, but that's just becoming far in between. Really, it's getting closer to $40,000. But it's really the cost of putting the house on top of it, because our construction costs have gone up so much. It costs about $275,000 a door just to build a new house. And so it really doesn't matter what kind of land you put it on. It's still, whether it's a fancy home in Naples or, it's cost, it's $250 a square foot to build a house, or 1,000 square foot house. It's $250,000. And so it's, or to build. So but if you have to throw on, a $40,000 septic and a $40,000 well, now you're adding $80,000 to that, and then that becomes unaffordable. But at $250,000, we with our first-time home buyer program, we'll provide up to $40,000 for your down payment and cover your closing costs if you're a first-time buyer that's income eligible. So it's a program that people don't know about. But if you had that, now you're talking about a house coming down to $210,000, which is an affordable mortgage for someone who's making $35,000, $40,000 a year.
And the 40,000, that's repayable at what rate, or is there a rate?
No, it's a grant.
It's a grant.
So the grant from the
Compass County.
county?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can get
If you qualify.
if you qualify, and if you don't adopt that, you can get an HFA down payment of $10,000, which is a loan, but 0% interest, and you don't pay it until you sell your home. So there's programs out there, and counties just done a bad job communicating these programs in the past. But we've got a new county manager he came up through the Parks Department, so he's much more friendly to outdoor space and things like that. So you'll see a new effort to try to have communications, better communications, and we'll do another series of town hall meetings on the capital budget over the next 5 years, because the commission doesn't want us to do this budget thing year by year, but really 5 years, 10 years, and what do we need to pay for to raise or find and revenue to pay for that. But those is going to be really driven by community needs. We've learned a whole lot about roads we put in that no one drives on.
I know there's a big debate about the school for Tuckahoe and Joel. If that school does go in, do you foresee Joel getting 4 lanes sooner than the planned 10 years that they're saying?
Yep. They had the board had a retreat last Wednesday, and we prioritized a lot of the transportation plans. So we know Joel is in desperate need. Right now, State Road 80 has the same traffic counts as Alico Road and almost as high as Daniels. So there's so much usage of 80. And, so and a part of that is people that who live in the eastern part of Lehigh getting to 80 to go, towards the highway.
Yep.
What do you see for the foreseeable future for the DRGR lands? I know there's been some CPA amendments, and do you foresee that path continuing and the DRGR just kind of getting developed?
No, because we need the flowways. And so, we're going to run a road through it, but I don't think you'll ever see development, between Alico and 82. You'll see it at 82 and at Alico, but not between. And mostly because, water access is so serious that if you lose your flowways, then we lose our aquifers in the southern part of the county. So, we understand is that for self-interested reasons, we need to keep them. Now, you may see us not fiddle with 2020 lands, but rearrange them and swap them out for other lands where some of them don't make sense. Because, a lot of them were just deals that, someone who knew someone, 10 years ago or 20 years ago asked for those to buy their parcel. We did, but it has no conservation value. So we won't diminish the amount of acreage that's in the program, but we'd swap it out with something adjacent to Larry Tiger, something adjacent to some conservation lands here, not just something that's by itself in the middle of somewhere.
Speaking of 2020 land, so it was mentioned in one meeting someplace that 2020 lands can be used for public infrastructures. So, for instance, the wastewater treatment plant on Alico. I think at one point in time it was mentioned like, okay, what if Lee County needed a soccer stadium like JetBlue Park? You know, could 2020 lands be taken and used for public infrastructure facilities?
Not now. I mean, it could be that they pass an ordinance someday to enable it, but it would have to swap out the land for something else. So, listen, my sports development department will have to hear that. You know, but you know, it's just not true. I mean, right now the money that buys 2020 lands was passed in a referendum that the voters who voted for it, and so we can't. So there are covenants in the land, and we can't just willy-nilly decide to change the use. We can use it for passive recreation. They can put hiking trails on them, kayaking trails, and things like that. But we can't turn them to active recreation. We put a road through them, because it doesn't displace the land. We have to do a lot of mitigation just for that.
I think the fact that you have talked about, I know Lehigh is vested lands, and I'm using the term vested. The fact that you have talked about that and trying to see how we might be in the future taking on some of the abandoned plots and getting, that would be a great asset, great asset to Lehigh.
And I think
Plus we have a lot of people from really outside, they don't care about it. I mean, auctions and tax deeds come up all the time. I myself am one of those people who go to those, and these people, 7 years, 9 years, although the tax office, after 3 years they can put it on auction, but lots of it go unnoticed, So we need those places to come together with the help of the county, and I guess you guys have the ties with Tallahassee, so we're looking for that.
I think so.
And by the way, a mall would be great.
Something.
How do I purchase some of these meetings?
I'll tell you how every Tuesday. Yeah,
There's a workshop thing coming up, possibly tomorrow. A workshop about the tax deed program.
There's one on the 21st. Look at it. No, but I just want to mention that.
And I'll tell you, because Derek just mentioned it, there's many different advisory committees. Whether it's a bicycle advisory, a planning committee, economic development committee, that service the Board of County Commissioners. And there's very few Lehigh folks that ever apply for membership of any of these committees. So it'd be, for those who have any time, I can show you how to access the website, but it'd be great to have more Lehigh representation.
Yeah, don't let the Gateway and Fort Myers and Cape Coral people take it over, and we're right here, I mean, go to the county website and the commissioners, and you'll see.
There's in addition to the county advisory, there's also like the MPO. Those additional advisory.
Yeah. Even just going to the meetings, even if you're not a member of it.
Yeah.
The MPO is where they do all the transportation planning, and so they decide how federal and state dollars are, what priority they're spent in, and then that comes in. Then we follow it. And our county commissioners are all members of it, so they hear it firsthand.
Now would be a time.
Other questions?
Some of the questions.
What kind of businesses would you like to see here? I know you want to say something.
You heard about the sit-down restaurants already, right?
Yeah.
There's a new one that's supposed to be very
How do you want?
Abandoned night.
I don't think you're going to Fort Myers all the time.
And you heard about the mall that supposedly there will be. So those are big issues for us, and the road expansions.
Yep.
What
The
about
technical school is a
clean industries? We heard a lot about, industries being in Alico and Daniels, but what about coming up, more closer to us?
Well, that's why we're working hard with this one company to locate on 82. It's a brand you all will have heard of. It's clean manufacturing with no emissions, and so it'd be a good neighbor.
It's a start.
I got one for you. Semi-truck parking facilities
Oh,
to get them off our residential streets.
They're popping up all over the place. There's two being developed in North Fort Myers. Funny you say that. If you think about Southwest Florida, there's only 2 truck stops between mile marker 101 and mile marker 163. The Pilot and the Loves. So the Loves is in North Fort Myers, and Pilot is in Luckett Road. And so there's new driving requirements that truckers have to stop driving after 8 hours and take and rest. And so there's never enough place, both for full trucks and for the motor. So and then you've got the rest stop, but they fill up at 6 o'clock, and then they all leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, creating a god awful traffic mess. And so both truck parking locations, FDOT, we're trying to encourage truck parking for any new large shopping center that's being built on some of the out parcels, where it's appropriate. But it's a private business for sure, and there's a couple of companies that are moving into it pretty aggressively.
What about Buckingham Road? I've heard talk about expansion with that.
It's going to be 4-lane.
When's that happening?
Pretty soon. That's one of the next ones to go. What they're trying to figure out is, does it include roundabouts, or is it just all traffic lights?
You have a lot of residents live on that road. What's going to happen to the property?
Well, we've already acquired the property we need, so it's not going to affect any new property. But the problem is because of its use, cemetery now has such a backup. So it's you can't get out of Lehigh or going east or north.
But once you put Sunshine to 80, that'll change.
Yeah, then that's
The cemetery backs up probably the entire length in the mornings.
Yep.
Traffic is real bad.
Oh, and I've got 2 staffers that live in Buckingham. They're always late because of that. Doesn't matter how well they plan. So it's and then 80 is becoming more and more. It's becoming more like Colonial. And Colonial, like when I'm driving here down to Daniels, the bottleneck at Gateway and at 82, it was pretty severe.
When do you foresee I was just at the State Road 31 with the new bridge and the flyovers at 80 and 31. When do you foresee that project happening?
Well, the roadway winding, it was designed for 6 lanes, and then do 4 lanes at first. The roadway on Babcock has already started, and the FDOT just has finalized the bridge design. And what they're trying to finalize right now is the 3180 interchange. The thing about proposing doing 2 flyovers, one going east, one going west, from 31 onto 80 itself, in order to facilitate continuous flow.
I was thinking that maybe that Sunshine expansion, the one that's coming from Alico all the way through on and going through up to 80, I'm really thinking that would be a project that Lehigh needed yesterday.
Yes.
So if there could be a prioritization of that, it will be really, really be helpful, especially because we're going out there to work on it.
Well, Commissioner Greenwell's on your side. He
I
wants to start
know.
at 80, go south.
But he wants to.
Well, he wants to start. He wants to do what you're saying.
We need to make the connection.
Yeah.
That make the connection one. That is really imperative. I mean, somebody comes out of here at 6 in the morning, you have a roadblock every place. It takes like an hour, 45 minutes to get to the very beginning of Fort Myers. And same in the afternoon, having that when 82 was expanded. I mean, now 82 is being fully used, We have people all the way from Immokalee coming on. So I'm hopeful that this would be prioritized.
And what's going to get worse is there's so many multifamily units being planned for 82 between the Forum and where it crosses with Colonial. So there's 10,000 apartment units being built along that stretch. So it's
How
just,
many is in that one little corner there, right behind the CVS?
that's
a big apartment
the
complex.
that's the Continental parcel.
That's right.
That's 350.
Just 350.
Yeah, but it's going to have neighbors.
There's multiple developments there. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
over 1,000 total in that area.
I mean, I just envision that's gonna be a disaster if they get out in that area.
If you go to my website, wecountybusiness.com, we have there's a link to we call it resources and tools. Click on that link. We have a development activity map. So every project in unincorporated Lehigh, Lehigh County, is on it. Whether it's in planning, permitting, all they've had is a pre-app and construction with a link to their application at community development. So you can click on that and see if you have questions about something that's being built, it'll be on that map. There's one for Fort Myers and Cape Coral also.
That's actually considered Fort Myers though, right?
Yeah.
City of Fort Myers has the same exact thing on their website. I can post them on our community council Facebook page and share them out there.
That's right. And Fort Myers is building a new water treatment facility at Buckingham in 80 or 82. So it's where they own, the city owns land.
Oh, they are doing it? I thought they were doing with the water district. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay.
No, I mean, there's a collaboration between the city of Fort Myers, but it's in the city of Fort Myers boundary. So everything we want, everything to have an interconnect, so you can move water capacity from one system to another. And Senator Pasadoma is the state senate president and represent part of Lehigh. She wants me to convene a meeting in the spring after session's over of all the water utilities in the region. There's 28 water utilities in Lehigh County. And all of them to talk about how they can all either work better together, who should merge, which ones are weak links. Like Fort Myers Beach probably will never come back. Their water system probably never come back again. So we'll assume responsibility for that. Benito's run well. Fort Myers has problems. Cape Coral has run well, but Cape Coral doesn't have enough water, so the canal's going to dry. And there's times that you can't hitch a fire pump. So there's just serious issues that we have to address because of all this growth.
So I live in the Bay Area. They have a Bay Area rapid transit system, a BART. Has there ever been any talk about something like that in this area?
Well, I mean, the cost of laying tracks for a line like that is about $1 million a mile. So it's it's just very expensive as opposed to, buses or, once you lay that track, it's there. You can't move it again. But there is planning, and we'll know see if it ever gets funded. But the Bright Line, which connects Miami to Orlando, and soon will connect Tampa to bring it down.
What is it called?
The Bright Line.
Bright Line? Okay.
To bring it down along 75 to connect to all the way to Naples.
Wow.
Pushing
You
for that
can't
at all the
go.
meetings.
Huh?
I've been pushing for that at all the meetings.
That would be
You
awesome.
can't go. We will never go from Naples to Miami. Once you go to
Just to Tampa.
because you can't get through the Everglades.
Oh.
They'll find a way.
they just turned out a bike path.
I want to be able to go on a cruise and not have to drive from here to Miami.
They take a cruise to Tampa.
I might have I have another question now. Foreseeable taxes. And I know with everything that we do, we must pay for it. We got to buy food. We got to do everything else. So foreseeable taxes, what do you see with the buildup of what's going on? And I want to be a little more specific to Lehigh. What do you?
Hey, right now, the current county commissioners have no appetite for raising property taxes.
I got that.
But they do know that there has to be additional revenue raised.
Yes.
So you could see everything from a half a cent sales tax with school boards to match the school boards. School boards raises $400 million
A lot of
a year
money.
off that. So that would be a real boost to infrastructure. You could see a 6 cent put on the bed tax for hotel people who rent hotel rooms. We raised $55 million in a good tourist season of bed tax money. And that money would be used probably dedicated to sports facilities and parks. And then you'll see us be much more active in the bond market. We have virtually no debt, and so we could afford to take on some big municipal bonds without very much trouble. So we'll find any other way, but I don't think you'll see this county commission raise property taxes. It's going all county commissions is going to change over the next 5 years. So with term limits. So I can't talk to the next county commission, but this county commission is not. They reaffirmed that at the retreat.
Any more questions? I know, John, you have talked well and you're so learned in this area with your experience and whatever you have done, traveled. We would love to have you back when we have like a big, great crowd, not only in this crowd, but in another crowd that, in other little groups within Lehigh. I think people need these type of things. They can't hear it from me or Derek because sometimes, we're like the bad sheep.
I'll come as often as you invite me.
So the knowledge that you have shared here with us because you're inside is really, really appreciated. We thank you so much for your time, and we thank, unless anybody else wants, and for everyone here and the people who are not here, we really thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you very much.
I'll come and we'll come and see you.
Okay, look forward to it.
Enjoy your drive home.
It's gonna be fine. You'll be fine. The drive now, it's only dark outside.
Traffic is.
We have some lights out there, folks. Because we're close to like an hour of time, what we'll do is not go ahead with the rest of the agenda that we have. We have like 3 minutes left. If anybody has something really, really important, we can. You can just blurt it out there.
Did you want to pass a motion to approve the minutes from last month?
Yeah, let's get rid of that and the treasurer's report. Not get rid of because
We know what you meant.
so I'll ask for minutes. All those who have read it, I know most of you have read it, or everybody has read it. I'm looking for a motion.
Make a motion to accept it.
Second.
All in favor? All right. Treasurer's report. You guys would have received that. We're not going to discuss. And everybody would have received the treasurer's report. I'm looking for a motion to second.
Second.
All in favor?
Easy. No one's gonna speak up.
In old business, you guys see the report. We'll be talking about the bylaws and all of that stuff next time. But you have been given an opportunity to look at it. You can send in some of the comments. I know I do have a few, but it's not like something that would not be agreed upon. I know that already. I know a few other people might have made some comments. So, having said all that I did say, anybody have anything else to add right now? I want to thank you all so much for coming out this afternoon. I really do think.
Mr. Saul has something.
We have a street lighting committee.
Coming up on the 20th. Sorry, street lighting committee meeting coming up on the 20th of November. It's going to be held at the East County Library. As many of you who want to show up, please do.
20th?
20th of
At
November.
what time?
It's at 3:30, 3:15.
3:15?
Yes.
And hopefully everyone has seen the banners on the streetlights.
Pardon me?
The banners on the streetlights on Homestead.
The banners.
Yes, some banners are along Homestead Road.
Okay.
Can you just give me a brief education on what that is?
Well, the street lighting is any light that you see here in Lehigh where it's publicly displayed.
Yeah.
It's coming from that committee that he talked about, advisors. It's coming from that committee. If you think you need a street light in one of your areas out there, please let us know. If you see a light out, there's a number on a pole, just let us know. Call.
On your tax bill, there's a MSTU
Yeah.
specifically for the streetlights of Lehigh Acres, which is that.
Please, and there are several of us on that board. I tried to get on everything I can. Because I cared about Lehigh when I came here, you know. Nobody have to pay me, I just care.
Yeah.
We have to care. We have to care for each other.
November 16th, next ARB meeting at 5:30 at the Lamson building. We got a few
We have a
things
few
coming up.
projects.
Storage facility on 7th and Williams. Warehouse at Gunnery. I think the address, but there's a warehouse coming on Gunnery. And one other one I can't remember.
Right after you.
Well, he did say that that's their plan.
That ARB board is also very, very important, folks. It would be nice for you to come out and say something. Because when you don't have somebody, when you don't have people out there, you know, the board, and we're on the board, you know, we're like, present, and all we got to do, we don't have nobody comment, you know, it's a problem.
We can have arguments for or against things, but if none of the community comes and is against it,
Then when you make a decision, then you're bad.
And that's publicized on Facebook too.
Yeah, how much say does the community have? How much do you listen to the community when something comes up and you have a large amount of people say, "Oh, yeah, we don't want it."
You know,
Do you typically go with what residents, or do you try? I know that Lehigh wants to develop and all that.
obviously
but
the arguments depend on what the argument is.
You
But
know,
remember that our board is just a recommendation to the county.
it's just a
So the
recommendation.
county meetings are really where you really need to show up. Show up at our meeting also because our recommendation has some weight, we hope. But it is merely a recommendation. The county meetings are where you really need to show up.
So
Yeah.
when do the county meetings happen? then?
it's normally, all depends on the projects. Lehigh has some projects, they'll put it on a calendar. Sometimes they'll have, for Lehigh right now, there's about 3 different small projects. You have to go before the hearing examiner. I don't know the exact dates for this one.
There's a
Not-
website there, isn't there, that
Yes,
lists
I'll
all
Yes,
post
yes.
on what John was talking about. I'll post on our community council page, the Lee County Economic Development page, and the City of Fort Myers Economic Development page. But for the development you're talking about, there's nothing posted yet for the county meetings on when they will be yet.
Yeah, if
But
you
they
want to
will be
be,
eventually posted.
Yeah. me, I'm called a pain from the moment they see me at the door at the county.
And then our next meeting
I
here,
have no problem.
December 4th. And with that, motion to adjourn.
With that, I'm asking for a motion to adjourn. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all so much.
Good thing you sat here.
See, I just make open second.
Yeah. I say, give people chances.
Oh, they
Give them a
don't.
chance.
They don't.
Give them a chance.